Okay, hello and welcome all to tonight's webinar on this particular project in Tampa. So quick introductions. I am Ali Kaku, previously in healthcare, now in real estate. Also on the call, we have Josef Merali, a real estate professional, and we have Hussein Jaffer, who is real estate professional and uh, expert at the rehab projects, done several of these. So we're going to focus today on the one project we have, but introduce our model as well for the future. So without taking too much time, I will go ahead and hand over the floor to Hussein Jaffer.
Okay, thank you everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I appreciate the introduction and for calling me an expert. I do appreciate that. Okay, so I'll be brief and hopefully concise here. Project we're looking at in Tampa is the one that we've been part of the group, 1021 East 19th Avenue. And I'll show you the guys, the comps, I'll show you the numbers, my experience of what it looks like. So first and foremost, as far as the property itself is concerned, on 1021 East 19th, we're acquiring this property for 160K. We're anticipating 70K in rehab, just about. And our hope, inshallah, is to sell it. For me, worst case scenario, I think, is around 330. But I refreshed the comparables yesterday, and they look, they do look a lot stronger than that. So I'm going to share my screen here briefly to show you what they're looking like. So let me get to the comps real quick. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, so the subject property that we're looking at is on East 19th Avenue, okay? So right here, around East 19th. The comps that I want to show you briefly are all popping up here. Sorry, I went a little bit further out. So on North 15th Avenue, you've got recently sold a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet, same type of historical property, done beautifully, did a great job. So I'll show you what they did here. Beautiful renovation, not a huge kitchen, but done very nicely. Bought some gold handles, standard flooring, beautiful counters and rather tile work and whatnot. Overall, simple home with the siding, okay, and a new AC and all that. Not too far from downtown Tampa. Again, 3-2, newly renovated, newer roof, AC and water heater. Only 12 days on the market and sold for 350K. Okay, this is and what I didn't pull up. I'm sorry. Let me pull up the year. Okay, so that was a 1994 block build, right? But in the same downtown area. A little bit more. So that's again smaller than ours by 100 feet, but similar style, historic style. Sold for 365. Okay, that must have been a tear down and rebuild. Because I feel with the style, sometimes they have the year built is X, but gets the actual year built is a lot older, and sometimes they go and modify and they make that the new year built. Just an FYI. But let me show you this comp here. This one is 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 924 square feet on 24th Avenue. Okay, this was done quite nicely as well from my recollection. Let's see here. It's okay. It's it's standard. It's actually not renovated at all. It's just been cluttered and well maintained, but at the same time, it's cluttered and well maintained. Ironically enough, built in 1920. Okay, has central air, roof, and all that jazz taken care of. This 900 square foot home, 924 square foot home, 2-2 sold for 300K. Now we're on 19th. This is another comp on 18th Avenue, 3-2, but only 900 square feet. Absolutely gorgeous finishes. Okay, they did a fantastic job. This is not practical. This just looks good, but the size of this, it's not practical. But anyway, it's just a good looking home, and so 3-2, 900 feet, built in 1962, sat on the market for 70 days. They held on pretty strong. They listed at 370, but this 900 square foot home ended up selling for 360K down at one street over from us. Another comparable I wanted to show you that was most similar to ours on Columbus. So Columbus is this here, if you see my mouse, okay? And 19th is a few streets up. So this is 21st, 19th is right around here, Columbus is here. I drove, I went to 19th last Thursday when we went under contract. Jose brought the wholesaler to us. And I went and I drove down Columbus myself. And I drove down Columbus and I ended up realizing that Columbus is a main road. I mean, with traffic lights, it's literally, it looks like residential, which it is. They did a great job, but it's literally off of a main road. They listed for 365. They sold it for 360K. Can one of you guys, I'm sorry, here it doesn't show me again. Oh, I'm sorry, here it is. It shows on December 13th is when it closed. So when the rates were higher, okay. Did a beautiful renovation, great job, good finishes. 3.2, once again, 1,316 square feet. They held on to their price. They sat on the market for 60 days, listed it for 365 and sold for 360. That is the most similar comp to ours. That was off of a main road. Ours actually has the historic cobblestone street and whatnot. And then another comp I wanted to show you guys on 23rd Avenue was this one. You know, they did historic kind of theme throughout with the light fixtures and whatnot. Pretty house, great job with the kitchen bar. I really do love that. Made it nice and open. Smaller fridge, clean finishes. Okay, but it's a 2.2 and only 1,092 square feet. But it sat on the market for 2 days, and while it is a short-term rental, maybe that's why. I think also that's what happens with this property, that it sells as a investment property too. But this thing listed for 350 and it sold for 350. And this was in August 18th. And while that was the summertime, our property inshallah should be done A, by the summertime, and B, the rates are much better than they were at that time. So I think that is something to realize when we are renovating and putting the house on the market. Excuse me 1 second, because it's always something with work.
So while you take that, I'll quickly mention, so we have one of them November 2023, one of them December 2023, and then the other one was August, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
And currently, with the hope that the maybe interest rates are going down, there will actually be an upward pressure on price a bit as well.
Yeah, 100%. In fact, some of the stuff that we've seen with Jose, so Jose and I have worked together on a deal previously. We just closed on, I hope you don't mind me mentioning, because they have a few weeks back, right before the end of the year of 2023, alhamdulillah. And so when we were running comps on that property, in all sincerity, it was crazy because people were offering over asking in Tampa. And I was like, that's strange, because in Orlando, it's not there yet again. But in Tampa, they're starting to offer over asking because there's no room. Orlando's growing at a fantastic rate, but there are area pockets of Tampa that are now regrowing at a fantastic rate. Excuse me. This is one pending comp I want to show you guys. 18th Avenue, again, one street over, did a great job. They just cluttered the house, but they did a fantastic job. Obviously, you can see it was taken during Christmas time. 330K for a 1,200 square feet, 6 days on the market. Okay. I mean, this is 100 square feet smaller than ours, not brand new renovated, but okay. And so my deal is with this 3.2 at 900 feet and this 3.3 at 1,300 feet for 360. And these are all being in the last year. And then this 2.2 selling for 350 in August. I don't see how we won't hit the 330, 345 number, but we'll see, inshallah, you know. Briefly, let me show you guys the numbers, okay? Now, are we good there, or do you guys want me to pause?
Maybe show our subject property and
yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. Yep. Our subject property.
Map a little bit too, if you can.
Sorry?
Can you zoom in on the map a little bit as well? Just so we...
Certainly. Yep. So our subject property is right here on 19th Avenue. Okay. Now, I don't know why they didn't put the pin in the subject, because usually I have the subject and the comp, so I apologize for that. But our subject is on 1021 East 19th. Okay. You look in the comps at what sold on Columbus at 360, the really busy road. Down the road from us, the 360 that sold here on 18th Avenue. Another one at 330. This one at 365, the 3.2, 1,200 feet. This one at 350. Which one was that? 350 here. The 1,000 square feet, 2.2. This one up at 350. This was another 1,000 square foot home. Beautifully done block property. But you know, it's block, not wood frame, not historic either though. And this sold for 350, 1,000 square feet. Just a few streets higher than that, but I wanted to still show it to you regardless. So our sorry is right around here, this area here, and then the rest are right around surrounding it, just very nearby. These are all within half a mile, in all historic. Okay. That's that. Anything else that you guys want me to show on the map or anything like that?
Oh, that was satisfactory.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna move on to the numbers, guys. Okay, so you guys can see this, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here we are at the equity profit share and participation profit share rate. I'm gonna turn this phone upside down. Sorry, I got Cruise working right now, so it's distracting me. Okay, so normally what we do is we do this one of two models. The first model is depending on how many people sign up and how fast we move on a project. We offer equity and profit share, okay? But that means you participate in the gains and losses, or rather the gains or lesser gains on the property, okay? This particular property, we've kind of tapped out on equity. We had a few participants from last Thursday to now, and that, you know, we kind of all filled up on that. However, knowing that this is our first kind of deal together, I think people are more comfortable instead of funding a whole project and then, you know, doing the equity up and down based on the sales price. What we offered was the participation profit share. So you're going to get a profit share based on the participation, based on the amount of money you put in. Okay. So for example, right now we're looking for, actually it's gone lesser than this to 133K, but what we are offering is a 1.5% monthly accrual rate, okay, for the first 6 months on this property for the funds that you send. So for example, if you were to send $168,000, okay, and we had this 168K for 6 months, you're going to accrue at 9%, but that's just for 6 months. It is annualized at 18%. So your total accrual is $15,120. Now, the benefit of this is that you don't participate in profits or lesser profits. Let's say that, you know, we want to sell for 360, 345. Let's say we get 315. God knows, you know, who knows? We get 315. Or let's say there's another $10,000 in expenses that comes up. We can't predict these things. I can't guarantee anything. I've done 32, 33 flips in the last 2 years, and I've seen it all. Okay. And so you don't know what's going to happen. You just have to prepare for what may happen. Okay. That being said, this being our first investment together with the group, I think everyone was more comfortable. I think what we decided a couple weeks ago, let's offer people the participation profit share so that regardless of what happens to our profit, up, down, if we end up making 30, if we end up making 60, if we end up making 15, whatever it may be, and I don't think that will happen, but let's say we only end up netting $30,000, regardless, we have to pay out to the investors what the accrual rate is, regardless. So, and the investors are paid first. Okay, I just want to make that clear. So a lot of people are like, well, you know, when you sell the property, you guys take your profit, then you pay us. No, your number doesn't change based on that. Now it's not interest. We're not paying you monthly. Okay. So I know somebody asked about, is it Sharia compliant? I need you guys to think about and find what you find Sharia compliant or not. I'm just going to put that out there. Okay. However, for us, I know we're not offering you interest rates. We're not offering you interest payment. There's no balloon here. We want to keep it this way and clean and halal, of course. So this is for you to think on. But that being said, the rate changes after 6 months. It's variable, but there is no balloon. You get paid after profit, and you're receiving a profit for your participation. So it's more like instead of a loan, it's actually a profit share because you're receiving profit on your participation. But we are more comfortable offering that fixed accrual rather than a non-fixed profit share based on how much is made, because you don't know. And being this is our first deal together, I'm going to reiterate that this is where we feel comfortable offering. Okay. There's some fail safes, there's some kickers after 6 months. If it doesn't work out, if after 6 months it doesn't work out where we haven't sold it, you know, we're going to say in the agreement that you guys can start taking 1% per month accrual debited from your current accrual. In addition to that, if we haven't sold after 9 months, we can refinance the property to pay all the investors back, or we can accrue at a higher rate. So we want you guys to understand that we're not sitting here saying, hey, if it goes to 9 months, 12 months, so be it. No, if we hit that 6 to 9 month time frame and you guys are like, hey, we kind of need our money back, and you know, we feel more comfortable, then at that point we just refinance the property and say, okay, you know what, guys, we're gonna have to refinance it to get your money out and go from there. And that's totally understandable. And we'll pay at least 4.5 months of profit based on that situation if we hit the 9-month mark. So, or 8 to 9 month mark, I believe it is in the agreement. I have to look again. Does that clarify anything, or rather not clarify anything, guys? Or any other questions around that?
That's pretty good.
Jose?
No, pretty straightforward.
Okay. Okay. And so I want to talk to the effect real quickly. If somebody says, well, if I put in $20,000, you know, I'm going to make $1,800 in 6 months. And the answer is yes. However, what you would understand that your annualized rate is still 18%, which you're not going to find much else anywhere else, you know? So obviously our goal here is to do long-term and let's see how it starts off and then go from there. So if that clarifies that for this particular project, we'll do the annualized participation profit share. On the next ones, we'll open it up to the floor from the beginning and say that, because this one we had to go under contract, you know, I reached out to Onali and I said, look, you know, you talked about having a group that may want to invest. We have investors already in the profit share and equity, but let's open it up to the floor and see what happens here. You know what I mean? So on the next ones, I think if we have some slots available to that, we'll go from the very beginning. Excuse me. What I'd like to show you guys is that I know what I'm doing. So this is my photographer, and these are, you know, these are all the flips I've done. I mean, in the last and photos I've done in the last 2 years, I believe it is. So over 32 flips. There's an MLS link that's been passed around. I can reshare that to you guys as well. But you know, alhamdulillah, it's worked out pretty well. 32 flips in the last 2 years, and so, you know, pretty well versed in this. I would like to show you guys some photos of some bungalow style. So I wanted to show you guys. This is the property I did. I really enjoyed this one because it was smaller, and so what we did was we did all white walls and then dark trims on this one. Let's see here. If it ever wants to load, but that's normal. What's new? Bear with me just a moment and we'll pull it up another way. I just want to show you an example of how we renovate.
So as we're kind of waiting, I might add the you know, a competition for Abo asking maybe coming back. I had a property that closed recently, 912 Lake Destiny. It was barely on the market for a week or so. We got an offer. We actually accepted the offer, and then the Friday after that, it was a couple days after Friday, was when they announced that they won't be increasing the rates anymore. And that Friday we got 2 offers, one at full asking. So that's very tightly correlated, this stuff, you know. Unfortunately we had already accepted an offer. We're just waiting for the escrows, but we couldn't take that offer, but it's coming there. Oh, Hussein just entered again.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I sincerely apologize about that. I had 8% on my laptop and then it just died. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll send you guys links. So you guys have the links of the MLS of what I've done in the past. But I think we got the gist of it before. Unfortunately, I got kicked off of my laptop. But so I apologize for that. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. Again, 32 flips in the last couple of years. You guys have the numbers, the comps. Onali, go ahead.
If you're able to show pictures of the current property and, you know, key highlights like you had shown us before, and then what we expect to do with it and kind of what's already been done, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that let's do this. Let me see if I can.
I guess if you could send me the link, I could pull it up here as well, or one of us, Jose, for myself.
Yeah, sure thing. Jose, actually, could you pull up 1021 East 19th, and then, if you can pull up the sheet, you'll see the renovations on the sheet. And then, Jose, if you can pull up the property, then we'll be able to walk through there.
I'm using it on my phone.
Okay.
So
So I think Onali is best if you can pull it
Yeah.
up. Sorry, guys. Yep.
No problem.
Right.
So
Camera
the-
on my computer. I'm still stuck in the early 2000s.
yeah,
As far
okay.
so usually I'm at home with the three screens. Today I'm in a hotel room with just my laptop, but we'll make it work. Hold on. Where is the sheet? Okay, there we go. I got the sheet going. And let's see, I'm gonna share the sheet. You said the link is
Well, you can just even you can just pull it up even on if you want to realtor.com at 1021 East 19th Ave. You'll see it.
all right, let's do that. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
1021.
There you go. Well, yeah, East 19th Ave. Yeah. I think going on realtor instead of Zillow. Yeah. It's the best looking property on the street.
So I'm gonna give you guys a quick hold on.
Yeah. So as you're doing that, let me walk you through it. So as you can see, this house looks like it needs help. If I may make a joke, an IV of some sort, but but this
Steroid.
yeah, this thing needs steroids. This thing needs steroids for sure. So this house actually has a 2-year-old roof. It's got the stilts have been redone 2 years ago. It's got redone electrical. All the boards inside, I walked this property, have been redone, so it's not like wobbly at all. It is in a historic area where you can do a lot in the back and make it super adorable and quaint, just like the actual area is. But this is actually kind of a dream of a reno because I mean, it's mostly, you don't have to gut everything. It's already kind of gutted for you. The electrical items are already in place where the switches are going to be and the outlets are going to be. The plumbing is in place. So if you can scroll down to the showers and the laundry room, the kitchen's already set up. If you can see back there, they've already done the board and the drywall. And now it's just about finishing it and putting primer and painting it. So overall, okay, that's one of the bedrooms, the closet. I close the door there, made it a hallway. That second door you see is going to be closed up. I already talked to the city and the historical department about closing that up, and they did allow that. They said that, yeah, of course, we understand. What else do we have here?
I know it looks unappealing to the untrained eye, but this is the kind of result that really brings in profit from what I've seen from Hussein's flips.
Yeah, yeah. Alhamdulillah, it's been that, look at the breaker box meter, all brand new. I mean, you're talking about 2 years old, all up to code. So I would say the roughing, the stuff that's the most important has been done. So the reason the siding looks like this is because the sidings previously had stucco on it. And so I spoke to the historical code and they said that they don't want stucco. They want it to be wood siding. So he's like, I'll work with you so you don't have to spend a lot of money. Whatever siding is good. He goes, we'll go on each side. And I'll tell you, you can save that. You can remove that. You can save that. You can remove that. You just have to find the same wood siding. It's in a historical area where it's non-conforming. So we have like 42 different paint colors we can choose from. We have different types of windows we can choose from, whereas other houses are very restrictive. This is not as restrictive. Because there was a previous roof on the patio there, he goes, you can go ahead and build just a wood ceiling there and redo the roof on the patio and make it really nice. If we want to get an approval and build a garage, we could. It might cost us like 15 grand. I don't see the use of it. I don't see the other properties with garages, so I don't think there's any need. But all those blocks, all that wood, all that flashing, all brand new for the most of it, besides the existing stuff. But they want to put new brick there. So it's, yeah, it doesn't look appealing, but the main gist of what has to be done has been done already. And so now, they received a code violation because of the lawn and because they did work without a permit. And so our goal is to say, okay, we're going to go ahead, obtain the permit and spend the money and get this project done, and get it looking like the other properties over there. You see the two front doors, it used to be a duplex. So a lot of these historical properties, you're not allowed to change the facade, but here we are allowed to remove the door on the right because it's no longer a duplex, no longer zoned a duplex. So that's what it looks like right now.
Awesome. And I think you had mentioned that you've already talked to the about
City.
the violation, and I think
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. The maximum, sorry to interrupt, the maximum that the city of Tampa is allowed to charge you is $5,000. That's their statute. So even if fines accrue at 60,000, 100,000, it doesn't matter. The max that they're allowed to charge you is $5,000 because Zaif and I are part of a flip right now in Tampa, another one that they did work without a permit. He brought this one. I guess him and the wholesaler are focusing on that kind of code violation stuff. And so he brought the wholesaler on that one, same scenario. Code violation due to lack of permit. So we're in the process now of pulling the permit. We're meeting the architect on Monday, inshallah, and going from there. And that architect, I'm actually going to be driving him by this property on Monday as well, inshallah, to get his estimate and get moving on that. We anticipate about 65 to 70K in rehab. There are always unforeseen circumstances, but again, I don't see it exceeding that just from my experience. I know I broke it down earlier. Interior, this is material cost, bathroom material cost, labor total 15K. And they should be able to cover that flooring, all the paint, all the light fixtures. The exterior, I'm expecting to spend $15,000 on material. I'm overshooting that like a lot. The windows, I know we'll spend $5,000 on. Patio, porch, I can't see us spending $4 on it. So I'm overshooting on a lot of it. I'm at 68.8. I think that if you can highlight that real quick on like the 68.8, please. But again, the reason that we encourage the participation share and that why we're going to this model and this property is because that it's the first one together, and we want you guys to be comfortable. And I think providing funds and getting profit based on participation is more. It's less turning than waiting to see profits go. You know what I mean? So.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent. Any questions you can think of, Jose? Any FAQs you think people would have?
As far as just by thinking about, so I'm very picture oriented, right? If I'm looking at this as a new person who doesn't know the basics, right? So Hussein, can you elaborate a home on stilts, because those bricks is something that came up with our previous flips as well. The house sitting on, how does that work? Does the bottom get covered? Because it's kind of unappealing to a family who's going to come and buy the home, and they think the home is going to be water intrusion from the bottom. Cover up, because that's also been the question for me when I first started doing this with you. I was always concerned.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Khalif and I are doing a house on stilts in Dade City, and so what you do is you put a siding right on the stilts or between the stilts. And so the historical department will allow you to choose the pattern or whatever and the color that you want. And basically that covers up the side. And then you make that your kind of accent color, your trim color. And then you go with the main house and you paint that white, for example. And then you take the trims of the windows and paint it the same color as the covering of the stilts. A, that's cosmetic. B, a house on stilts is easier to renovate than a house on block foundation or cement foundation, because you can go underneath and mess around with stuff much easier. The fortunate thing with this property is that the electrical and plumbing has already been handled, the rough-ins and whatnot. So if we have to get in there, it's quick in and out. It's not, again, chipping through concrete. And that, when I'm adding a bathroom, guys, to a house, that's the hardest part, is like chipping through concrete, make sure we're not hitting anything that's not supposed to be hit, finding the city line. Here it's all evident, here it's all there for us. So it looks ugly, but once you close it up, if you look in downtown Orlando, downtown whatever town you're in, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Dallas, Look at houses in Long Island, New York. Look at houses in California. The houses sitting there from the 1870s are on stilts. Some of them have the foundation, but some of them are on stilts. And still, till today, I've got a 5-unit building in Daytona Beach that's been sitting around since 1915 on stilts. I mean, you're talking about 30-foot tall building on stilts. And so they were just built better back then, honestly. The foundation on this particular home, the stilts have been redone. They've been redone with a permit. They've been approved. And so the flooring you saw on the inside, oh no, if you can share that once more, the inside photos, all that Duroc, the cement board on the inside has all been redone. So it's actually quite sturdy. It's a lot better than I've ever walked on, I'll be entirely honest with you. I mean that sincerely. It's one of the better homes I've ever walked on with stilts. So, you know, it looks horrific right now, but this is the most I can tell you is that, you know, the stilts themselves, if you can see that beam, it's been redone, the concrete's been redone. It's good. They did a good job.
If I may bring in Warren Buffett, you know, when he says when there's blood on the street, that's when you gotta buy. Well, it's kind of similar in this, you know, when you think, oh my God, how this looks terrible. Well, this is the one you gotta buy because no one wants to buy it, and you know you can actually turn it around, you know.
This property looks like it's been murdered. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And it comes with some free material, as you can see.
I guess that one maybe after this we can do a real quick on the how it'll be bought under a land trust and you know that kind of structure and all.
Yeah. So the goal is to buy it under a land trust and then put each investor or the investor docket on that land trust and say this is how they're going to be paid back. They'll be paid back first upon resale. We will not share the contributions, just the names of the investors, but not the contributions of each investor. But each investor will be under like an investor docket on the land trust, stating that these are the people that are receiving a profit share based on their contribution. It's quite simple, actually.
Yeah, and the land trust keeps it anonymous as well. So for
Exactly, the land trust gives it the anonymity. There's already an attorney and the guy that we worked with before in the land trust who signs for us, and so, you know, he's just the trustee, and then we handle the rest of the work as the managers and operators on the land trust.
All right. I think that concludes our session. We're open to questions. We want everybody to be very comfortable. So, you know, do your due diligence, you know, ask us anything. There is no stupid question. But we are here to help you, and we hope this is going to be a long-term, you know, project for all of us, a long-term commitment, long-term kind of, you know, this is just many.
One of many.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, inshallah, one of many. Yep.
All right, sounds good. We'll go ahead and conclude this then. Talk to you all soon. Khuda Hafiz.
Okay, gentlemen. Khuda Hafiz. Take care. Bye-bye.